Hey guys, so lately I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 1. Battlefront 2 is fun, but it's also great to take breaks and play some other games. It's another great shooter made by DICE. It feels very similar to Battlefront 2 overall. All the guns feel very similar and act the same. In Battlefield there are tanks and airplanes similar to the tanks and airplanes in Battlefront 2. One of the closest things is how the classes work. In Battlefield there are 4 classes that all have different functions and abilities, just like Battlefront 2. There are also similar game modes and objectives and matches that play out similarly, but there are also a lot of differences between the two games. One reason for that is Battlefront is a Star Wars game more geared to younger people, and Battlefield is a war game. So there are bound to be some differences. But there are still plenty of things that the Battlefront series can learn from Battlefield. So this is kind of a sequel to my potential Battlefront 3 video. I'm going to go over all the things that can make Battlefront 3 great. If you guys like these videos, then let me know by liking this video and subscribing so I can make more videos like this going over other games that future Star Wars games could learn from. The first thing I want to talk about is just the feel of the game. This is more of a general topic that doesn't go over specific stuff. Battlefield's battles all feel very similar to those in Battlefront 2, except for Conquest, which happens to be an exact copy of Supremacy in Battlefront 2. It's the same thing. There are multiple objective points that you need to capture and hold. The more objectives you hold, the more points you get. Whoever reaches a certain amount of points first wins. You would think the games would feel very similar, but it just doesn't. Battlefield feels like an actual war and battle is going on. Battlefront just doesn't have that feeling. But what makes the game so different? One thing is the involvement of different reinforcements, not heroes. Heroes are nice, but a large-scale game mode without heroes would also be nice. What Battlefield makes up for heroes are plenty of reinforcements. These are tanks, planes, chains, horses, and other vehicles you can ride. Battlefront 2 has all this stuff, but not in the same way. Tanks in Battlefield are a lot cooler with multiple people being able to operate one. They are great for taking objectives, but they aren't overpowered. There are multiple planes that are always flying above you. They can be dangerous, but because the maps are so big, it's rare that you will be hit by them. Not only that, but you can have multiple people flying one plane. There are even blimps, which could be playable capital ships in Star Wars. There are horses you can ride, like tauntauns. There are bikes and cars you can drive all around the map. There are also turrets all around the map that are actually useful to defend objectives. There's more, but you get the idea. All this different stuff really helps a battle play out like an actual war, and it's really cool. These battles are really fun in just a real-life setting, and put them in a Star Wars setting, and that would be the coolest thing ever. The closest thing Battlefront has to this is Galactic Assault on Geonosis. This map is the most unique map. All the objectives are different from anything else. There are also ATTEs that you can play and fight against. This map has speeders and tanks everywhere, all while people are trying to advance or destroy the walkers. It's not just the objectives that makes it feel more like a Battlefield map. There are also dust storms that create intense situations like the dust storms in Battlefield, and the map is also massive, which I enjoy to some extent, although Geonosis is just a bit too open for me, and I don't think there's quite enough cover. Overall though, I want more Battlefront maps like this. They could be really good in these big game modes. It would also be great if Supremacy was a bit bigger. Technically, the games are 32v32, but they involve 12 AI, so it's not the same thing. The perfect situation is if we get even bigger things, like 64v64. Those would be crazy awesome battles. The next thing that would make Supremacy better is more varied maps. Each Supremacy map really plays out the same way, and each objective is in the same layout. If objectives came in different layouts, then that would be a huge improvement. But that's pretty much it for how I think Battlefront could feel more like a war and how you could really feel like you are in a Star Wars battle. But there are other features about Battlefield that I feel would be great in Battlefront 3. The first thing is more game modes. Battlefront 2 only has 4 player v player game modes that aren't heroes only, and only 2 of those are trooper only. This is not a great amount. More game modes with different objectives would be really cool and make the trooper gameplay much more enjoyable. The second thing I want is more weapons. One of the worst things about Battlefront 2 was the really sad variety in weapons. There were only 25 different trooper weapons, and only about 2 per class were actually good and worth using. What would be great would be way more weapons, each one being unique and helping each class be useful in different situations instead of one. For example, the officer is only ever really good up close, and the specialist is usually only good at a distance. But with more varied weapons, these 2 classes could be better at both ranges. Having more weapons would allow for a lot more playstyles and a lot more fun. But those are all the major differences between the 2 games. Like I said, they are very similar. I would absolutely love a Battlefront 3 that is similar to Battlefront 2, but also feels, or there just are game modes that feel more like other shooters. This would be so much fun in the Star Wars universe, and I'm disappointed we haven't gotten any games like this yet, but hopefully we will soon. That's all for this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. See you guys next time. Bye.